I was thinking, don't know what I was going through, but I was wondering, somewhere I landed on Neanderthals, and if they found something that another village or tribe made, would they try to find the other, or would they just grab it and take it? Oh, that's what it was. It was like, where did science originate? And what science apparently is they're just people that get together to try to reconstruct something that maybe they saw naturally, or that there's an idea, and so they're trying to create the idea. I mean, not, it's not all science is just chemicals in a test tube, but like engineers and such like that, or like society, automotive engineers. Anyway, uh, but I was thinking, and then I start thinking, okay, so uh, how far does science go back to? Were there Neanderthals finding stuff like somebody else made, and they didn't know what it was, so they take it back to their tribe or village, and then they try to break it down and wonder what it was, and maybe come up with a different use for it. And was that where maybe a lot of battles or wars came, because maybe that one tribe seen another tribe using one of their something they had lost, and they didn't give it back to them, and they tried to go up and grab it, and the communication, and maybe the communication amongst between tribes didn't exist. Maybe just one tribe grunted a certain way, or if they grunted, or if they even started talking yet, and they only communicated. Maybe there was whatever. But I was thinking, if they found something, or if they was making something, and would there be a war? And did they have originators of ideas back in Neanderthal, or even I doubt if the thought could have been there in hominids, just the thought, because of course it would have been, because there was hominids and there was thought, and probably to them to create the next thing. Anyway, but I was just wondering, were like battles and wars created, and murder and stuff like that, to go get one tribe would say there was one another tribe, say if they found a sharp stick or whatever that was in the shape of this other tribes, they started using a certain kind of symbol that everybody knew that they were of the tribe, and then they walked past another group of Neanderthals. Well, I don't know. Maybe they all gathered. Maybe it was just one big giant migration. But anyway, and or maybe they gathered together as a big migration. Maybe they still gathered in groups, because maybe they communicated better or whatever, or they were just like what do they call a clan, where it's just all relative. So they just hung among relatives until they had to pass off. I don't know if they knew about what is inbreeding and stuff. I mean, if there was 10,000 of them as a large migration group, then they'd have to. They might. I don't know. Anyway, if they had certain kind of birth defects from inbreeding. Anyway, so I just wondered, is there battles or wars or murder and thievery? If a person takes another person's, they find it on the ground. They say one group lost theirs, and another group picks it up. Say it's a peace symbol, and made out of twigs, and it was just that group's or that clan's symbol, that they were part of that clan, and that was like that was their family symbol. And so maybe that's where the swastika came from. It was just a clan symbol, like all of the same birthright, all related. And then so somebody'd find a swastika, and back in Neanderthal time, and then another group would walk by and see it on somebody that wasn't of their group, and then they'd maybe go up and try to talk to them, couldn't communicate, and tried to grab it back to say it wasn't theirs, it was their clan, and maybe who they was grabbing back from didn't have any symbols for their clan. They weren't as advanced, and so the swastika were more advanced because they had a symbol for their clan. And and the one they were trying to grab from was like a Jesus Neanderthal who thought everybody was his brother. They just walked around, and so they went up, tried to grab a swastika out of the Jesus Neanderthal hand, and Jesus was like holding it, and then they maybe killed him, and whatever. So that might have been the first murder of Neanderthal. I don't know how far it'd go back. Yeah, maybe just stealing food would cause. I mean, because animals do that. If you steal food, it creates an anger. So thievery was probably the first crime. Everybody says prostitution was the oldest crime, but it's basically thievery, because that's what would have created murder. Because I mean, if you're just walking around, how would you disagree with somebody if you didn't have a whole lot of words to speak with? And I don't know. I'm just saying, thievery is first, so we ought to eradicate it before we worry about murder, because it basically creates murder.